Talk a little bit about playing in the United Center, what that means to you.
It's going to be a fun experience. Of course, I always watch great players play at the United Center. And just like last year, just be a fun experience, just like playing at Madison Square Garden. Always watching on TV and having the chance to play on it, I'm grateful about it.
What do you remember about the Oregon game last year?
I remember that we had control of the game late in the game. We played really good on the defensive end. Then we just had the game slip away from us last year. I mean, that was a lot of the problems that we had last year. I mean, the problem we had last game. It was a good game to the end where we just let the game slip away from us. So that's just one thing we've always had to work on, and we'll just continue to get better from it.
You guys down to kind of alleviate some of that a bit if both games a little bit better?
Probably just like scenarios in practice. Down by 6 with like 3 minutes left. We'll do stuff like that in practice. It's all mental, if anything, because usually when great teams know how to stay within themselves when things get tough. We've had a problem with that. Just like last game, we kind of lost ourselves. Probably on the defensive and offensive end, got a little selfish. Great teams, they can stay within the team and stay and trust the system. And that's one thing we got to work on. Just like last year, we were great at that toward the end of the season. That's how we were able to beat good teams, because we were able to stay within ourselves toward the end of the game. Yeah, the chemistry's getting better game by game. And just like last year, since we were our new guys last year, we had a problem with our chemistry. And toward the end of the season, we had great team basketball. That's something we're getting better with this year as well.
Is the chemistry developing a little slower than maybe you thought it would?
I wouldn't say a little slower than I thought, but it takes time. That's what all good teams. This is only our second year together. So we're not going to be perfect, but I think we're moving along really well as a team.
You were part of a lineup change at the end of last year. What does that do to a team? Does it change anything for you guys?
I think it changes if you allow it to. Joe and John, I think they did a great job last year with the lineup change. Because they could have got mad or upset. Instead, they knew it was a team thing, and they came off the bench and did really well for us, which is why we were really successful toward the end of the year.
When you talk about the late game breakdowns, is it defense? Is it toughness? Is there one way to pinpoint what's happening in the Miami and Villanova game?
I wouldn't say toughness is a problem. It's a mentality thing. It's within yourself. Can you stay within the team? Like Coach Gross always says, get lost within the team. The toughness, I think we have the toughness. We were down a lot of times and came back to tie it up against Villanova, and they're a really good team. They're top 10 in the country. Not any team can do that. I think that's one thing that shows with us. We're tough and we never give up. I think it's just more, like I said, get lost within the team. Don't think about yourself offensively and defensively, and that's one thing we're getting better with.
Despite those 2 losses, has that helped your confidence moving forward?
What you mean by that?
Villanova and Miami games.
Confident,
even though you didn't win the games, staying with the teams and coming back and showing that you can do that, does that help your confidence going forward?
Yeah, I think what we learned at the Villanova game is we can be a really good team. The score doesn't really show what happened, because if you look at the score, you think we got blew out. But, just like defensive fundamentals, we gave up 73 points, but their first 33 points, 22 of them came off of turnovers and offensive rebounding. So I think we're getting a lot better. We did good in the defensive end. First 32 minutes, last 8 minutes, they scored the last 10 possessions. That's, like I said, just staying within the team defensive-wise. But I think that's helped. After that game, it helped us confidence-wise to know how good we can be as a team.